So now to start with, let us say we have to create table member. Primary key I've already explained in the first video, so that's how we create primary key. Mem L name, last name of a member, first name of a name of a member, mem DOB's date of birth of a member, then the address. Now, if I want a field not to be left empty, should not be left empty, then we use not null. So the last name must be entered by the user. So that's why it's not null. It can't be left empty. This is another definition. Now, if we were to insert a record in this table, so we're going to insert a record into this table. First, let's see the structure of a table. Desk member. No, I haven't run it here. Run, we have to create the table first. Table created. Now, desk member. So desk member is going to give me the structure of the table. Here is the structure. Now, if I have to insert a record, I didn't specify which attributes we have to assign these values. So I've put member ID. No, I've said member ID should be a phone number, for example. Okay. Last name, first name, dates. Check how we've entered date. The month comes first, then the date, then the year that the person was born. This is a format. If we have used this format, date, we only wrote date there, so it's going to use this format where the month comes first, then the date, then the year. So is it correct? Let's run it. And here it is. Now, another way to insert, this is one way to insert a record. Another way to insert a record is like I'm going to say I'm going to input in only certain columns the value. Let's say we are going to, the primary key has to be input. So let's say 57777777. All right. Then I'm going to remember the last name doesn't have to be it's not here. I'm going to enter here. I'm going to enter another record. Here I'm going to enter for mem ID. The first attribute is mem ID. So I'll write down here the attribute is mem ID. The second attribute that I'm going to enter, it will be last name. It doesn't have to be empty. That's why I'm going to put it's mem L name. Mem L name. Oracle is not case sensitive. Whether it's I write it small letter or capital letter, the attribute name, it makes no difference. I'm going to leave first name empty. I'm going to enter the person's date of birth. So the attribute name was mem DOB. Mem DOB. So mem ID is here. Mem last name, I need to change this to, let's see, the person now, his name is Hawkins. This one I'll remove. Hawkins. So I have last name. Next I have date of birth. Let's say now I put 1988 as date of birth. I don't want to input values here for other values. So I have input only for I've entered values here, mem ID, this one, last name, this one, date of birth, this one. And none of them has been defined as number. That's why it has to be within single inverted commas. So now I'm going to run it. Missing comma here. I have to close the brackets here. Now it's good. One row inserted. So round bracket here. We have to close it to know where the statement, where the values are ending. So in this case, I have input only for these three. Now, do it here. Select star from. So if I want to display all the records from my table member, so I'm going to put select star, means it's going to display all the columns from which table? This is the table name member. So select from the array call statements. And here I get both records. Now, if I have mem ID, last name, I didn't write first name here, address. That's why it's empty. Let's say now I want to put values here in mem f name. So I'm going to do an update statement. I'll say update member. So update, after update command, we use the table name. This is the table name. Set, update is followed with set. Well, let's say we'll save mem f name is equal to, let's say, popcorn. The name is popcorn. Set where, I have to tell where to set it. Where the mem ID is equal to 5. This is the same thing, I guess, here. So then we run it. One row updated. Now let's see if I run my select statement. So this is how we update the, so let's see here. Now select star from member. Run. And here we have popcorn. So the same thing we can do for address. So to display all records in our table, we use select star. Now, if I have to delete all the records that has been created, we'll say delete star from member. I'm going to lose all the records. Delete, we don't put star, delete from member. I'm going to lose all the record. 2 rows deleted. We had 2 rows earlier, so the 2 rows have been deleted. So let's see. Select star from member. No data found. So I'm going to insert again now. Okay, select star from member. I'm going to insert want to put for city as well. Make it like this. One row inserted, and I want to have a full row inserted. So I guess desk member. So I have mem ID, L name, F name. So insert into, but table name is member. Values. So if I have to fill up all the data, 511222222, mem ID, mem L name. Let's see, King. First name, the Great. It has to be in the same order as it is described here. Date of birth. Zero 03-23-2003. You have to close it here. Then we have address to fill up. Let's say Rose Hill. Run. So now we have one row inserted. I want to insert another row. Let's say we'll call the person Potter Henry. His date of birth is 6/13/1983. The person stays in Portsmouth. Run. Okay, so this when we have to insert records where all the columns has to be filled. If I don't need all the columns, I'm going to say only those columns. I'm going to name here. I'm going to enter values for mem ID, mem L name, mem date of birth, so now I put it 888888. The name is called, now we call another name. Pallavi. No. Call it Paul. Last name is Paul. Date of birth, let's put it 4/27/88. It can't be. So this is for this is for this data. No, we don't have city in it. Run. So now I want to do to display all the records that I have input. So it's select star from member. Okay, so I have now 4 records that I have just created. Now, if I have to display all those records where the of a person who stays, if I want to display the address of a person who stays in Portlace, so I'm going to say select star. So I'm going to star because I'm going to display all the columns from member where, because I know I need people who stays in Portlace. So Portlace is in the attribute mem address, where mem address is equal to Portlace. It has to be written same way as it is in the table. P capital ORT dash LOUIS. Now we run it. So now we're going to get only this record. So select star displays all the column from which table? Member table, where the address. So it's how we're going to display when we need to query our database, our table or our database. Then we have to use the select statement. Now, if I want to check again all my records, select star from member. Here it is. So we have only one record which has Portsmouth. Now I want to update Hawkins first name. Table name. Set F name is equal to Trisha. Mem address is equal to Malibu, where mem ID is equal to So here we have to update our table member. So we have to update the table because we had 2 columns which was empty. So F name we didn't have, so I've input here, address here Malibu, and I've put it where mem ID. Let's say we were given the mem ID. So then where mem ID is this, the primary key is this. Or it depends on the question that you get, which detail you were given to update. So then when we have updated it, so here I've shown you, previously I've shown you to update only one column at a time. Now if you have to update several columns at one go, so we put the first column and the data that has to be updated with, comma, then we separate with the other column. Now let's see our table. Select star from member. Let's run it now. So now it's here. The data is here. Good. Now, if I want to remove all the records, I'll just have to do delete to remove all the records from member. But I want to delete only one record. I want to delete the record that I want to remove records where the address is Rose Hill. Here we have Rose Hill. So where mem, this is the attribute name, is equal to Rose Hill. It should be as it has been written in our table, as it has been input, Rose Hill, run. So it went to look in member table where the address attribute is and where Rose Hill, which record pertains to Rose Hill, and it's going to delete all those which has the address Rose Hill. How do you know it's correct? So we are going to do select star from member to display all the records, and we don't have, now we have only 3 records. Previously we had 4, now we have 3 records. Now let's say I want to rename this table, rename member to, let's say I'm going to rename it to membership. Okay, this is, I'm giving the table member a new name. Now I don't have table member, I have table membership. Let's see, from member, does it display something? No, table does not exist. So to rename a table, it's rename the table name to, rename to, then the new name. So select star from membership. So now this is the new table. Next, we have now to have, I want to delete all records. I do delete from member. I'm going to delete all records. Not member, membership. It's a new name is membership. Okay, now I'm not going to have, because I've deleted all records, delete from membership. So if I do select star, I will have no records. Good, no data found, but the table still exists. Do a desk membership, the table is still here. The table is here. Now I want to remove this table from my database. To remove a table, to delete the table from my database, I'm going to use the command drop table membership. Table dropped. Now, once we have this, so I've used drop table is the command, membership is the table name. Now, how do I know if it's gone? Desk membership. Run. Object to be described could not be found because I have removed it from my database. So that's it for this video. Thank you.